And now maybe jumping topics once more, I wanted to talk a little bit more about RE squared's perception capabilities, specifically this new RE2 detect that actually Amanda and I were discussing in last week's episode. So for anyone who's interested in this episode and finds interest in either perception or artificial intelligence, I'd encourage you to go back to actually episode 1 to see that episode the same. So maybe can you talk a little bit about RE squared's computer vision expertise and how that's different from a lot of conventional computer vision?
Yeah, RE2 Detect is focused on operating in an outdoor environment and in unstructured environments, right? Um, and additionally, it's catered to mobile applications, right? So really outdoor, unstructured, mobile environments is really where RE2 Detect shines. This means that it's different from a traditional computer vision approach in that we're not bolted to a factory floor. We're not controlling the lighting condition. We have to be our RE2 Detect has to be able to work outside where the sun may be moving across the sky, creating different lighting conditions, creating different shadows. Oh, by the way, it may be raining. It may be snowing. So we have to be able to deal with all of the factors that come into play when you're in an outdoor environment. And really, that's what RE2 Detect, is about, and how it differs from a traditional approach.
And so maybe building on that a little bit here, maybe an obvious question, but why do you think that's an important capability?
So going back to we want to be the leader of human-like robotic arms. Most of humanity operates outside of a factory, right? This means that we're not bolted to the factory floor, and oftentimes in order to perform human-like tasks, not only do we need to be physically like a human, but we need to be able to perceive and reason like a human. So once again, just like on the physical side, we developed an arm based on size, weight, and power as main driving factors. As we have built up RE2 Detect, we focused on mobility, we focused on unstructured environment, we focused on outdoor. So once again, by coming at it from the ground up with a different mindset, it creates a different result and a much more apt solution for the environment that you're looking to enter versus trying to port a solution that was developed for another market.
That's great. And so what does this capability allow RE2 robotic systems to do?
Yeah, so I think I touched on most of this, but what really sets RE2 Detect apart is the ability to work outside, deal with changing lighting conditions, be able to work in inclement weather. And I think what's most important about it, without getting into the proprietary aspects of it, is that it's a fusion of various algorithms that utilize machine learning techniques to reliably detect objects of interest in a dynamic environment. So those capabilities are very unique and allow you to start looking at new vertical market segments that previously thought that robots were relegated to the factory. And what we're here to tell you is with this new capability, that may not be so true anymore.
One other capability I think that clients are often surprised to learn about is our system integration and autonomy capability as well. So why do you think that this is an important capability of RE squared?
Well, starting with system integration, that's one of RE Squared's strengths. Um, there's plenty of people that go from A to B, right, and do the autonomy there. And we're not focused there. There's plenty of people focusing on that. We're more about once you get to B, how do you interact with the world? How do you physically interact with the world? And so in order to do that well, you have to be able to integrate sensing, integrate with mobile platforms, integrate with any other type of sensing you may need to perform the task. So that's something that is, although it's not our focus, it's something that we ultimately just end up doing every time we solve a problem because it's required. In terms of the autonomy software, that's really important because that software provides the reasoning of what you're perceiving. So as RE2 detect gives you that data of what you're seeing, the RE2 intellect is interpreting what it's seeing, reasoning about that, and figuring out how to translate that data into actions that a robotic arm would take and how it would be interacting with the world.
So could you describe for us a little bit about some of the enabling technologies behind that autonomy capability?
Yeah, I can provide a little bit of insight there. Clearly, some of our scientists at RE Squared are better suited to get into details, but really it comes back to, once again, traditional solutions are usually taking one approach. Hey, this is our algorithm for interpreting this world and solving the problem. Whereas in order to get the reliability, because we are in an unstructured environment, or there may be rain in this situation or snow in this situation, or we may be bouncing around on a mobile platform, you can't just go with one approach. Just like a human has multiple senses, and that gives us increased reliability in what we do, our processing and our algorithms allow us to do that that human-like approach, right? So we're fusing, once again, multiple algorithms that come at it from a different perspective, and then looking at the intersection of that Venn diagram to figure out what is the most probable way to attack the problem based on the data that we're seeing.
So do you see autonomy as a major growth area for RE Squared?
Absolutely. Autonomy is perhaps the largest growth area for RE Squared in the next decade. You're still going to see advancements on the physical side. I believe that we're approaching the asymptote of what's possible on the physical side. We're really getting pretty advanced in terms of our physical capabilities and having human-like motions there. Probably the last piece there is, perhaps some haptics work. But what we're really going to see is the next logical progression of our technology is advancing the autonomy software. And this is going to represent the lion's share of our development and our growth for the decade to come. Figuring out how to make these human-like arms act like humans at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, in talking to current customers and clients of RE Squared, it seems like autonomy has definitely been a major area of focus in recent history. So we talked a little bit about, on one end of the spectrum, how RE Squared is capable of controlling robots via teleoperation, and on the other end of the spectrum, of robots being, I guess, completely autonomous. Is there a middle ground between those two?
Yes, there's clearly a middle ground. It's a spectrum between teleoperation and full autonomy. And honestly, there's not too much in the world that's fully autonomous yet. There's a lot that's teleoperated, and we're moving to the right on that spectrum. And that middle ground is what I like to refer to as supervised autonomy, where the human's still in the loop, and you try to push off as much of the work to the robot. And the humans are only there to give confirmation at various points throughout the process. I'll give you an example. We had a program to autonomously open a door, and the robot the way that interface worked was the computer vision algorithm would detect the doorknob, and then it would ping the operator and said, I believe I found the doorknob. Is this correct? And the operator could say yes or no. And then the system would then do the appropriate thing based on that user input. And then it would say, oh, I believe I've securely grasped the doorknob. Does it appear that that's true? And the operator would once again chime in and provide their guidance on whether, yes, you actually did it, or no, try again. So I think we're going to see a lot of systems coming online that the human's still there, but providing input. And now you're starting to see force multiplication, where you can see one person sitting at their desk and you have 4 robots working, and that one person is just there helping to advise those robots or to deal with any error codes or edge cases that may come up. That's going to be probably for the next decade, a lot of the robotic systems that you see out there. It's going to be a very long time before you have a fully autonomous system that's really robust and coming up with solving all of its own problems. But there's a lot of interim steps along the way that allow you to be mostly autonomous and reduce the the amount of human intervention in the near term.
Since 2001, RE² Robotics has remained committed to our mission to develop innovative technologies that make a positive impact on the world. RE² is a leader in the design, development, and manufacture of human-like robotic technology, solving the most challenging applications in the world. If you would like to be contacted about a robotics application, please email us at myrobots@re².com. That's myrobots@re².com. To stay up to date with the latest RE² news, visit our website at www.re².com, or you can always follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you'd like to see more videos like this, or videos featuring actual RE² robots, please subscribe to this channel on YouTube.